Today we're going to be working with fraction measurement division. And when you're doing measurement division, it means that you start with some amount of stuff and you give a fixed amount to each group. And you want to count how many groups you can make. Our problem today is 2/5 divided by 7/3. I make this into a word problem by saying I have 2/5 cookies and want to give away 7/3 of a cookie to as many people as I can. How many people can I give 7/3 cookies to? Now we know the parts of a fraction and about common denominators, so our next step is to write our word problem out in a way that helps us understand exactly what it means. So to do that, we do 2/5 cookies divided by 7/3 of a cookie. Now, our first step is to find the common denominator. To find a common denominator, we have to write out our equation again. And then we want to take this denominator and multiply both the denominator and the numerator of the opposite fraction by 3. And then we'll also take the numerator here, 5, do the same thing but with the opposite fraction. So we multiply this by 5 and this by 5. So we'll show that as 2 times 3 over 5 times 3 divided by 5 times 7 over 5 times 3. Now let's look at a picture of this. On top up here, we can see that each of these boxes is defined as the whole. So to make 2/5, we split it into 5 parts and filled in 2 of them. And to split these wholes into 7/3, we split them into thirds and filled in 7 of them. Now, because division tells us that we need to split the whole into smaller pieces, we need to make each box have the same number of pieces. To do that, we use the common denominator, and if we looked at our equation from earlier, it was 5/3 and 3/5, or 5 times 3 and 3 times 5. That both of those equal 15, so 15 is our common denominator. Now in order to make this have 15 pieces, we'd have to split it into 3 more parts to make 15, and in here we'd have to do that, split it up 5 more times vertically. You can see that drawn here. So right here we have 2/5 originally, and then we split it into 3 parts. So now we have 15 equally sized pieces. Over here we had 7/3 and we split it up into 5 more pieces. Now each of those has 15 equally sized pieces, and now instead of the whole big box being defined as our whole, we redefined our whole as one of these smaller pieces. So let's go back to the equation. Since both fractions could be split into 15 equally sized pieces, we can disregard the denominator right now and focus on the top. So that will give us 2 times 3 divided by 5 times 7. Now we'd rewrite that kind of in fraction mode as 2 times 3 over 5 times 7. And you can see that this is now an integer problem. Next we can split this up into 2 fractions and have 2 times 2/5 times 3/7. Now if we look back at our original problem, it was 2/5 divided by 7/3. And now we have 2/5 times 3/7. So this shows that we invert and multiply, which means that we can flip the second fraction and then multiply across to get our answer. So if we do this, that'd be 2 times 3 on top and 5 times 7. This equals 6 over 35. We can also show this with a picture. So on top, we drew out 7/3, and we shaded in 7 of those. Our next step is to draw in the 2/5 part of it. So we'll have to split each of these into 5 parts, each of these thirds into 5 parts. Now we know that our numerator for 2/5 is 2, so we care about shading in 2 rows of these 5 total in each box. Now we've shaded those in down here, and we can see that there are 2 rows of the 5 that we just made up here that we care about, and those 2 rows out of the 5 are part of the 7/3 groups we had originally. Now we can count up the boxes that are shaded in both blue and red, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That number will be our numerator because that's the number of pieces of the whole that we care about. And now we can count up and see that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. 34 parts are shaded, and that will become our denominator. So now we see that with both the drawing, which is right here, and the algebra, we got 6 over 35. And this is why you can do invert and multiply. So remember that 2/5 divided by 7/3 is equal to 2/5 times 3/7, which gets you 6/35.